We're good. We're good. Well, I still can't believe, just what Mr. Quinnell said, I can't believe that this is a reality today in such a short amount of time. Throughout our first year at Oakwood, Dan and I talked about what we could do to give our students more opportunities. This was in all areas, but especially in the STEAM disciplines. We discussed how we live in a world where science, technology, engineering, art, and math play a critical role in every job, every home, and every aspect of advanced learning. The integration of STEAM disciplines are crucial for all students, not just those who are naturally proficient in math and science. Successful STEAM programs engage students of all interests and abilities. They thrive because learning is truly personalized, individualized, differentiated, and relevant to their unique interests and experiences. Success in higher education and the modern workplace also requires that students master the next generation skills like communication, collaboration, critical thinking, problem solving, information literacy, and adaptability. Balancing traditional academics with the need to develop these skills is one of the most important challenges facing teachers today. Dan challenged me to find something we could add to our current curriculum. I called LEIGH from Creative Learning Systems and talked to him about the dream for Oakwood. I gave him some feedback about our amazing community. He put a plan in place. We met in June of 2019. I gave him a tour of campus to share my insight and discuss a possibility for a space for a lab. He completed a blueprint for the upper school library, and we've been moving forward through this process ever since. Our Smart Lab is an innovative combination of curriculum and assessment, hardware and software, furniture, equipment, construction kits, professional development, and we're still going to be giving ongoing support. It's a fully integrated, complete solution so we can focus on our students rather than designing content, equipment, and ordering supplies. It is complete with finding just the right person to help facilitate it, and we did. We found Mr. Chris Young. If I could give you a quick visual before you enter, and you can follow it on social media, I know I do. When you walk in the lab, you're going to see students buzzing with energy and enthusiasm. It's a learning community where Mr. Young is a facilitator and students take responsibility for their own learning. Autonomy is encouraged, collaboration is the norm, and problems are celebrated as a path to mastery. The lab engages learners as they apply technologies to projects that they design. They make academic connections. They develop the skills they need for college and career success. In our innovation lab, we've been able to include grades 6 through 12, which gets our younger ones doing STEAM while getting excited to feed into the upper school innovation lab program. Students are creating remarkable projects that motivate them to inquire, explain, tackle new problems, and celebrate their solutions. The assessments for the Smart Lab are authentic. They provide meaningful reflections as they create e-portfolios to document and share their learning. They explore, they problem solve, they collaborate, they create, but most importantly, they learn. My favorite statement when looking into the Smart Lab was, "It is what happens when we put educational technology where it belongs, in the hands of students." To give you an idea on the curricular areas that Mr. Young puts in place with these students, there's circuitry, computer graphics, digital communications, mechanics and structure, robotics, control technology, scientific data and analysis, software engineering, and sustainability. Before I close, I want to go back to what I mentioned earlier when I said I couldn't believe we had this ribbon cutting ceremony this school year amidst COVID. Lee, Dan, and I discussed plans from A to Z. How can we make this happen? I know these kids, and I know this is something we needed to do right away, and I was so worried we weren't going to be able to pull this off to fidelity. To do with fidelity, you have to do the entire package. This isn't a project you want to do if you don't have all that. So I want to thank the support we received to help put this together. This certainly couldn't have happened without our amazing donors that we're acknowledging today. Additionally, I'm thrilled to have worked with such an impressive organization as Creative Learning Systems, and I'm honored to introduce Lee and Craig. Thank you.
We are really honored as an organization to be able to help schools provide this to their students. And as you guys said the best, this is a place where there's transformations that go on. There's too many times that we have students that walk into this type of our learning environment and you ask the question, do you want to do an engineering project? And they say, no, I don't like engineering. And they go through an engineering product, and then you ask the same question, you want to do another one? They're like, yeah, I had no idea engineering was like that. It was very scary to them or something that was unknown. So this is really a chance for students to explore and really have a chance for them to find a passion. And even better, not every student that goes through this learning environment will go into a STEM career, but the life skills that they're learning in here will help them in any career that they move into. And right now we're preparing them for jobs that are not going to be around, that are not around now, that are going to be, when they take the job in 4 or 5 years, that job will probably change within the next 10 years. So they need to be adaptable and flexible, and that's what they were teaching them in here, is to be able to adapt to new concepts for them. So we're honored to be here. Thank you.
Young. I'm the facilitator here at the Innovation Lab, and I'm called a facilitator, not a teacher. A teacher stands in front of students and talks. I'm a facilitator. So when a student comes and asks me a question, I sit down beside of them and we figure it out together. The greatest thing about this lab is I fully believe, I've been teaching 13 years, I fully believe this is going to be a revolution in learning. Walking in this lab, seeing what students can create, I picture education being like this over the next 10 to 15 years and changing due to labs like this. Students walk in the classroom, and every 2 weeks, them and a partner create something. I don't give them restrictions. It is your creativity that's going to determine how far you go. Some of the projects they've created have been simply amazing. Some of the problems they occurred and some of the problems they overcome is astounding to see how well these middle and high school students can overcome problems. I'll give you an example. There's a group working on solar cars. Last Friday, it rained, so they couldn't come out here and do their final project. So what do? They figure out a way of hooking their solar car up to a battery pack and doing it in the lobby. These are simple problems that the students are able to overcome when in the lab. We're very fortunate to have a lot of rock star learners in this class. One, I'll give an example, Carson Arup, a junior that immediately, first day of class, he comes in, he gets it. I'm sitting here watching him solve problems. He even goes over to another group and solves their problem for him. And I have to hold him back like, Carson, let them figure it out, buddy, okay? Let them figure it out. It's even to a point now where this morning he walks up and I'm like, Carson, I need this, this, and this fixed in my lab. He goes in and fixes it, right? It's that self-driven motivation that I love to see from these students. When you go in the lab after a while, we're going to play a video the students made of some of their work. So when we first go in, I'm going to play you a quick video on the TV. It's on YouTube and through a lot of stations. You can check it out. Just showing what they can do in this lab. And also when you go in, ask students questions. Ask them what they're doing. Say, hey, what is this? Explain this to me. And just listen to their reaction, because they're the ones that sort of come up with this on their own. And it's amazing to see the joy in their eyes. Of like, look what I created. I created this robotic elephant that moves. Or look at this. It's just amazing to see this reaction. So thank you all for coming. And I have the honor of introducing one of our investors, Ms. Patricia Ross. Come up and say a few comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here speaking for the other donors who made this project so successful this far. I find it amazing that in its 25th year, Oakwood is reinventing itself again. It was founded as a school that was to offer a new form of education in Cook County. And we're so delighted that we're again bringing something new to students. Approximately a year and a half ago, I went to Dan and I said, you know, we'd like to make a gift to Oakwood, and we want to do something in the STEM area. Our family's interested in computers, we're builders, and we feel the need to do something that will introduce and inspire students to be engineers, to be mechanical, to be computers, operators, to do the software, to invent, to teach other people how to use. And so we're delighted that this project came about so quickly. And I think all of the other donors look at it and say, we're leaving a lasting gift to Oakwood.
Virtually, because of course we all know COVID COVID-19 is here and things have changed a little bit. It'd be great to be able to have everyone here present for this ribbon cutting. But we learned to adapt, and I think this is the perfect time for us to talk about adapting. You know, with the STEAM lab and all the different things that the students are going to learn here, and all the different changes as many of the speakers have mentioned. You know, different opportunities come about because they learn things in labs like this particular one. Most of the ribbon cuttings that we usually do are traditionally for businesses. And, you know, I was thinking about it on the way over here. You know, what better way to be able to show our community that we're investing in our children and our youth, because someday these kids are going to be business owners and they're going to be asking the chamber to come over and do a ribbon cutting, and they're going to be contributing to our society and being very, very positive, having a very positive impact on our community. You know, so it's really exciting to be able to see this. It's exciting to be able to see early childhood education and investment in it, because that's the best investment that we could possibly make, is an early childhood education. So I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a tremendous asset for our community. I've had the pleasure of being able to come over to the Oakwood School many times to be able to see all the great things that you guys are doing here. And this is going to be just one more of those highlights that when people come out to the Oakwood School to see, you know, what type of learning environment's available, they're going to be able to see that you've got this state-of-the-art innovative lab that's going to help advance these kids and move them forward as they transition into college and transition into the workforce. So we are thrilled that you made this investment in our community. We're thankful for everything that Oakwood School has done, and we look forward to seeing many of these children that are going to be using this lab excel and become future business owners or jump into the workforce and be very, very successful. So on behalf of the City of Greenville, it is an honor to be here today. I want to say thank you for this large investment, and we're appreciative of everything that you've done at the Oakwood School. So thank you.
You're right, your eyes.
So with that, I'd like to welcome everybody to come on in and take a look at the lab. And again, please don't be shy. Ask the students. They've